Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. I also live stream my builds and repairs. So if you would like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so tonight we're doing something a little bit different. As many of you may be aware, there has been significant price increases on graphics cards over the last couple of weeks. It's getting to a really ridiculous stage with the amount of like the percentage increase in the costs of graphics cards. We're seeing this around the world. We're seeing it all. People are confused. People think that they can get, for example, people seem to think they can get 3070s for like $1,200–1,300 because that's what they were priced at back in January. And realistically now the price is between $1,700 and $2,000 if anyone's watching from abroad. So I wanted to do a build tonight on what might be the short-term solution to this. And so what we're going to look at tonight is this little CPU. I'm going to come around here so you can actually see it a little bit closer. Come on, focus on that. There we go. The AMD RYZEN 5 G. So you might be looking at this going, I haven't heard of that one. So it's not actually available in regular retail stores. It's only sort of available through wholesalers and with these CPUs available to use in new system builds. So what we're going to be doing these together, and we're going to be we're going to run the usual of games, and then we won't be able to show the games probably tonight, but the games. So before I even get started, I want to take your attention over to my screen here, and I just want to show you where this CPU sits in terms of its performance here. So if we look at single thread results, you can see that the Ryzen 5 4650G keeps up with the strongest third generation, or sorry, 3000 series I should say, Ryzen chips, being roughly on par with a 5950X there in single thread performance. Going over to multi-thread performance, it's beating a 10600KF at multi-threaded performance, and it also has the onboard graphics there as well. So 4650G, this is basically the 4000 series version of like a 3600. The reason why it's got the 50 there, not 00, is because it's a slightly higher spec version compared to just a direct upgrade from a 3600, and the G is because it has onboard graphics. So with AMD CPUs, all you have to worry about is whether it has a G on the end or not. If it doesn't have a G, you need a graphics card for that CPU. If it has a G, it does not require a graphics card.
Why did Ryzen have G on the end of it and Intel have F?
Oh, that's just...
like, F doesn't make sense to me. The G,
yeah, you would have to ask Intel engineers.
Okay.
What the rationale is behind that. I mean, Intel are a little bit different because they designate their chips if they don't have onboard graphics, and they don't use a letter designation if they do. So if you have a 10600K, then you have onboard graphics. If you have a 10600KF, you you don't have onboard graphics. Any chip from Intel that ends in F does not have onboard graphics. So they just kind of do it a little bit differently. But essentially, what it means is on this CPU, in addition to there being a CPU there under the lid, there's also a GPU. The same sort of GPU that you would find on a graphics card. Hey Dominic, Dominic's reaching out on Twitch. Hey man, how you going? Good to have you with us. Hopefully the stream quality is a little bit better tonight. So like I was saying, this CPU here has a CPU and a GPU on the same thing. So if we have a look, I found this particular benchmark video here. So I'm going to make it full screen here. I'm not going to play through the whole thing. I'm just going to sort of skip through and get like the kind of highlights from each game. Hey Anthony, how you going? So remember that what we're looking at here is just this CPU with no graphics card. So obviously we're running GTA 5 here, graphics on normal settings at 1080p. And we're sitting happily above 60 frames a second here. So this is quite, yeah, this is not going to be a bad experience. Yeah, it's not running everything on max, but come on man, it's a CPU only. You don't have to buy a graphics card with this.
It's totally, like, it's not like it's, you know, 15 frames.
74, low 1% of 56, sitting around the 60s, mid 60s there all the time, driving through the town here. Sweet as. Bit of Fall Guys here, so on my... So it's not having...
They stop the cheaters and this, like that glitch thing.
I don't know. The popularity of it dropped right off.
Yeah. Well, it was so hard for people like, you know, people like us in Australia to actually play.
Yeah. So here's Fortnite. This would be DirectX 11. So DirectX 12.
Dominic says, how have you been, mate?
Yeah, good, Dominic. Back into it. So, I mean, as you can see here, no worries at all. Running Fortnite. No graphics card. Rocket League. 60 frames a second.
That game looks fun.
And see, here's Valorant. Easily keeping up with Valorant.
This game... Nintendo 64. It's so similar, but different at the same time.
Yeah. We'll go on to CSGO now. I mean, CSGO is not particularly demanding to run. Like these first-person shooter type games. Oh, we'll get running Shadow of the Tomb Raider and see how it can handle that. Red Dead Redemption. Alright, so here's World of Tanks. Between 50 and 60 frames a second here. So what do you think, people? Would you be happy with a budget gaming PC that could do this, where you could spend under $1,000 on the system and then be completely ready to put in a 30 series graphics card once this graphics card situation starts to finish off and wind down and go. I think it's a pretty good option for people given the situation. So obviously League of Legends. So this came out late last year. Oh no, sorry, like mid last year. Yeah. So absolutely no issues here with League of Legends. And I think the last one's Dota. Yeah. And yeah, it's keeping up in Dota there, even with a bit of an intense fight scene going on. And is that all we had? Yeah, that's all we've got. So, as you can see there from just running those benchmarks, we're seeing some pretty good numbers from this CPU, and I think you'll understand why I wanted to check it out and why I wanted to build a PC and sort of showcase this, because I think that a lot of people sort of have it in their heads that if they don't have a graphics card, then any sort of gaming that they're going to do is going to be a slideshow. And that's not actually true. And I'd like to be doing another one on the Intel 11500 CPU. Fairly good rival for this AMD chip here, I believe. So watch this space.
Dom says I'll do that.
Yeah, and Warzone. Yeah, Dom, Warzone's a game that I'll be downloading to test out on this. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to download every game. I should probably like have this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but
maybe you should look into that.
Yeah, really should. But no, I mean it's not my job to like run every game and stuff on every computer. I should have Fortnite and Call of Duty, just considering how many people play those games.
Maybe a couple of random games, not too many people know.
Yeah, I've got Shadow of the Tomb Raider in there because it's not too many gigabytes to download that. Anyway, let's move on. So let's have a look. Obviously, we've got our 40 in this box. This box is just for show. It's essentially a prop for the video. Just so you can see that it's a Ryzen 5. Okay, and these just get supplied to me in trays. So for our motherboard here, we've gone with what is probably the best board that you can get. This is the Gigabyte B550M DSH3AC. So obviously the AC meaning that it has onboard Wi-Fi 5. This board has two M.2 slots and some other good features that I'll point out when we unbox it. We've got an Antec D600 flux case with one of the Aza Prisma fans. This case also comes with a rear black fan, 3 RGB fans on the front, and another fan that is optional to install. So you get a total of 5 fans with this case. You also get an RGB and fan controller that you can hook 6 RGB and 6 fans up to. So it is an excellent value proposition here. For our memory, we've gone with 16 gigabytes of Team Group, I think it's called T-Create. This is the 3200 megahertz
we're going to be building the fastest gaming PC that money can buy.
CL19, I think it is.
We do that
memory
pretty often here.
Anyway,
What's
this is good value memory at about $100 for a kit.
RTX 3090
for our SSD, we've gone with a really good value SSD here. It's not an M.2 SSD,
right.
it's just a SATA SSD, but you can pick these up on special for around sometimes less than $40, so this is really good value as well. And a couple of older. See what the life is like on them. and then maybe we can put them into RAID 1 and use that for our gaming drive in this computer. And then if a drive fails, it doesn't really matter.
The original plan was actually to make this video months
ago
with a pre-production.
That's pretty much it. I'm going to be putting in my test power supply that I use here. If I
And they've set
but it'll
themselves
be
apart from other
also a
manufacturers
650
by
or 750 watt
taking our
power
feedback
supply,
and
because the idea
integrating
with
it
this
into
PC
version
is someone will buy
of the
it
Winter
and
1,
they will
which I guess
utilize
was
the
Winter
4650G while they can, and then
bias. Well, too late. I've already got
can't hear
bias.
YouTube playing.
Can hear. Oh, can't hear you over the
So do you want the price info right now?
Full marks for presentation, by the way, guys. Sure. How much does
Interesting.
one of these cost me to build myself?
So base price is
We've definitely got audio
$450,
coming through here.
and with all the extras, ours is $570.
Definitely seeing it.
I mean, by the time you're buying this kind of hardware, I guess
That's
not a
interesting.
big deal, but
There is
okay.
an error going
The
on.
finish on this one's amazing.
Yeah, there was.
Oh my
looks like there
goodness.
was a bit of
Like
an
me,
error
you might be
there.
wondering why at this price the case
Anyway,
can't come
like I said, the
pre-assembled
point
for
of
you.
this build will
And
be for someone to
fortunately,
utilize the
answer is a good one.
4650G
If you were
CPU
to
for
build a
gaming
water-cooled
and
system
for
in
the
it,
CPU,
you actually
and then
need to build
when
the
the time
system
is right
into
and
the
you can
pieces of
get
the case while you assemble it,
graphics card
or
at a
there's
good
no way
price,
to get them
you'll just be able to
inside.
slot this
That's
in,
why. So
and this
we
is
will
still a
begin
powerful
with
enough
step one.
CPU
Oh,
with
wow,
6
things all
cores
on
and
board
12
right away.
threads.
And then the graphic.
You
In preparation,
for
I've
quite
already taken the
a
top
way.
brackets off
You'd have
the
to be
CPU
running at
and
some
we're
really
just gonna
high
put our
frame rates
5950X
with
in
like a
there. Oh, that's something like
3080
that. Now,
and
obviously,
stuff for you to
to go with
start
the ultimate
coming
CPU,
out.
we need the ultimate RAM. So we've gone
Fine,
with
it's
this
up in
kit
here.
of 5100 megahertz ballistics
going
max. Worse performance than using slower memory with better
Linus.
timings,
Have you
but
got, like,
this rig
YouTube
isn't
going
about
on
making
your
sense.
computer or something?
More megahertz.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
Jesus. So okay, so what?
Plugging Linus there
That
a
was
little.
it. So Linus Media Group got some free. What the fuck is
phone's
someone
ringing
calling
now.
me? Anyway, let's move on. How much can people distract me while I'm doing this? All that happened there was just the I had YouTube open for that benchmark that I showed you, and it just kept playing on to the next video, which apparently was Linus.
Don on the Twitch says he can hear it too. Well, hopefully that's stopped now.
Yeah, no, it stopped. It stopped. Alrighty.
Yeah, Mick says, oops, that's better, and Kevin says it's gone now.
Yeah.
Mick says, hi guys, anyway, good to see you both. Hey, how are ya?
Hey Mick, how you going? Alrighty. So on this motherboard here, so we've got a 8-pin CPU power connector. Got a bit of a heat sink here on our VRM, which is good. We've got our standard AMD mounting brackets and our AMD fan header here for the CPU. We've got a 5-volt RGB and a 12-volt RGB header over here. We got dual channel memory with 4 slots, so channel 1 and channel 2.
How much would this PC cost?
Oh, we'll get to that. So
Okay.
it's under its value. It's under $1,000. So this is basically $1,500 right now, or even a budget up to $1,800 right now. I think is probably pretty safe for this to be the best way for you to go. If you spend more money on a graphics card right now, unless you're looking at buying it like a 3070 or $38,000 plus spend anyway, then it's not going to be too much of an issue for you. If you're looking at that budget to budget mid kind of area, there's not a real great deal of choice. If you spend like $1,500 on a PC, you're going to get something with a 1660 Super and a pretty underpowered CPU to pair with it, and that's just not a good way of spending $1,500. You may as well spend under $1,000. Get this, have a good case, have a good power supply, have a decent motherboard, and then have that money saved up and be ready to get yourself a graphics card when the time is right, when either you can find one secondhand that's a good price, or this current issue with graphics cards resolves itself and prices start to normalize again. So like I said, we'll talk about the cost of all that, but this board here is roughly a $150 motherboard, but it has onboard Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The CPU itself is $380. You've got a $40 SSD here, a $100 kit of RAM. We've got a couple of 500 gigabyte hard drives here, so let's just call that, they're second hands, let's just call that $60. We've got a $110 case here, an extra $15 fan, and roughly a $100 power supply to go into that. So that's the cost of the components here. So as I said, it's budget. It's under $1,000. It's a very simple PC to build. It doesn't take a lot of time for me to put together, so the labor costs reduced. It's how we can keep the costs down. And fundamentally, this is just a good way to go right now in terms of spending your money wisely, because with prices the way that they are, it doesn't make a lot of sense to get yourself ripped off on a 1660 Super or a 2060 for like $800 when you could get like pretty much the whole computer and get this level of performance off this little chip. I mean, come on. Like, I'm spruiking this because, one, I do want to sell a few, but number two, because it's actually a really good way to go for people right now. I don't want to see people get ripped off for no reason. So
I was surprised myself. I was like, what? Really? You can do that?
So we will go and drop in our fancy Ryzen 5 Pro 4650G into our socket. Must have had a slightly bent pin then, but that's okay. There we go.
Is a 1660 Super good for gameplay and stream?
Like, I mean, a 1660 Super is fine. There's nothing wrong with its performance. It's just a bad idea to spend like $700-800 on a 1660 Super, because I mean, what you got to remember is that I could get 1660 Supers for like $260 this time last year. Okay, when I older product that's getting older and older and older every week, and now it's worth like 3 times as much as like a year ago. That's bad news. If you really want it, obviously I build people whatever PCs they want.
Secondhand for 500.
Yeah, secondhand for 500. Yeah, not a good way to go. Not a good way to go. Doing this build here tonight to showcase to people that this is probably the best way to go as of April 2021 if you want a budget gaming PC. If you get something that's similar to what we've done here, you've probably spent your money wisely. If you wind up Alright, so there's our memory and our CPU. the board here. So we've got 4 SATA ports here. Got another fan header. Got our front panel connections here. So we've got 2 headers for the speaker, depending on which style of speaker you have. It's that one in the middle there. Not sure what those 2 in the middle there are. I know one will be out of use. I think the second one's also out of use there. And then obviously standard ones, we've got our clear CMOS jumper there. We've got our USB 3, USB 2. We've got COM port, trusted platform down here. And obviously all of our audio is down this part of the motherboard to reduce electromagnetic interference. We've also got these well insulated gold capacitors here, which are the audio capacitors. And that's why our audio is always down this part of the motherboard here. On the rear I/O we've got, what's that, 4 USB 3.2s, 4 USB 2.0s, gigabit Ethernet, our Wi-Fi AC module there. So if you're wondering what these are, is that another one. So all this is, I'll get Christine to hold that up. All this thing is a little card on a metal plate.
Fuck's sake. Yeah,
It's just like an M2 card. Slot here on the motherboard. 16 length, and we've got one individual PCIe X1 there. We've also got another fan header and another 12 volt RGB header there as well. And that is our motherboard. And so we've installed our memory and we've installed our CPU. We haven't put our... It is a better cooler, but the idea of this PC is for to be budget orientated. So, and where is my screwdriver? Oh, yep. No worries, man. Have you seen my screwdriver?
Downstairs.
No, I didn't bring it downstairs. Seriously?
I've been seeing it for a couple of days, actually.
I've been using it all day.
Oh, really?
No, here it is, here it is. Okay. So I'll take off the standard AMD mounting bracket. And so yeah, this, like I said, this build is most likely the best way to go right now if you've got up to $1,500 to spend on a gaming PC.
Next is as it's more in my price range.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is what people are hanging out for.
That's what
Everyone can get their high-end gaming PCs. It's no worries. I got a ROG Strix RTX 3080 right here. No worries at all getting you a high-end gaming PC. It's the budget people who are missing out. They got nothing.
People like me, you don't earn much.
You don't earn, yeah, it's not exactly right. So if you don't have money to, if you don't have the money to get a second mortgage on the house, essentially, if you're in a low budget situation, it's like we got nothing for you. And you know, like I like to say at the start, I like to build PCs to suit any needs and budget. Yeah. So, you know, I like to sort of stay true to what I say. This stocky on there, nice. What?
You just called it a stocky.
Yeah.
It's like a smoke, eh?
Yeah.
Servo.
I didn't call it a stocko though. I called it a stocky.
Yeah, well,
Knew you were going to say that. Okay. So now we have our cooler installed. We're actually done because we don't have an M2 drive to install. We're not going to be installing anything in our PCIe bus.
why don't you have an M2?
On me, and because I wanted to do this as a budget build.
Fair enough.
So I figure...
You don't need an M2.
No, absolutely not. So you can still use SATA. It's not recommended. You'll find that if I'm selling a PC to someone, I'll never just include one of these for the boot drive unless it's an extreme budget situation, and this PC is an extreme budget. We haven't gone with the cheapest motherboard we could possibly go. It's a decent motherboard. It's something that I would be happy to upgrade and put a big graphics card in, because that's the idea today. You can actually spend a little bit more on your power supply, even a little bit more on your memory, and a little bit more on your storage, and then save up a little bit of extra money. Have a little bit of money left over. You can spend some more on your screen, and you can then put the rest towards a graphics card when either a good second-hand one comes up locally. Like, you know, Nvidia will release some new models and refresh models of the 30 series cards with the TI suffix on them, and you watch those. There are certain people who, as soon as that comes out, they go, "Oh no, I've got to get rid of my 3080. That's just trash now." Like, that person exists, and they're just going to put the card up on Marketplace for whatever. They don't care. They don't care. They got too much money, and as soon as the new one comes out, they'll just want the old one gone. They're not going to want to haggle or anything like that. They're just going to put it up cheap price, and you just have to be there at the right time to get it.
Just keep watching Marketplace
Yep.
and other sites, etc.
That is it. Alrighty, so let's get into it. So like I said, we're going to be using my test power supply for this. I'm actually going to install a different power supply. Or not if someone buys it, when someone buys it. Yeah, so
that is
this
the most
this
cheapest.
is comes with these. It's faulty. It comes already pre-warped, and the holes in it are so big that it doesn't really filter much dust. So I had one guy who was pretty upset about me not including the dust filter. I've actually got to send him another one. Well, no, don't, because I've got to send that to him, because he's really upset about the dust filter, or lack thereof.
And have the one that I just flipped through the.
Well, it already comes pre-warped. It doesn't sit on the thing. The magnetic strips aren't adequate.
Really thin,
It's
like,
not. It doesn't really matter, because that's not.
Maybe flatten it out with a book.
It's not going to filter dust anyway.
No, it's not.
Anyway, moving on. So I'm going to be installing my test power supply, like I said. So this won't be the permanent power supply that will come with this particular PC, but it will be a very, very similar one. It will likely be another Thermaltake one. Because say what you like about Thermaltake, they generally have some pretty good power supplies. Especially the 80 plus gold ones. With the Japanese capacitors.
They don't know how to make capacitors.
Yes. Yeah, so if you see electronic products, yeah, they have the reputation of making the best electronic capacitors in the world.
Like, you know, made in Germany.
Yeah, yeah, it's that kind of thing.
Sort of
Thing. It typically means it's top quality. Can't get any better ones. It's not that the Japanese are the only ones who make good quality capacitors. No. It's just that it's just what they're Yeah. Yep. And their country cannot devote any of their resources towards military, so they devote it all to technological innovation and stuff like that, because after World War II, very innovative, like they would work with, like they've got a tiny island, right, for Japan. They've got very finite resources, both manpower and natural resources. So they have to be very efficient with what they've got.
I like these Prisma.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. They're good value.
Did they come in white?
No. You can get the Silverstone fans in white.
I know that. I wanted to know if I can get them in white.
Well, now.
I like the side.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what we can do with these CPUs.
Indeed.
And I would very much like to do a video on the i5 11500 as well, because I'd like to compare where it was in comparison to this. I want to see. I'm sure if I search that by this stage someone's already done this comparison somewhere, but I don't think too many people have done it, and I don't think too many people are talking about it. So, all right, so.
Silence. I need to take you away.
So we are going to use all of the fans here in this build, because we will be at some stage upgrading to a fully fledged graphics card in here. So we'll have nice balanced airflow with this. 3 exhaust fans and 3 inlet fans. It's the ideal number you should aim for. Air in should equal air out. So we've got all of our fans in place now, so let's get our motherboard in place. There we go. So we'll have to have a look at where our offsets sit, because this is a micro ATX board. So we have a standard 6+2, or that's a short distance there. So we'll have to make a few adjustments to the positions of our offsets here. So we can go ahead and remove this one down here. Just move that up to here. Yeah. That's the idea, is that you don't waste your money on a shitty 1660 Super or 2060 at $800 or something.
Does it have again?
What's that?
CPU? How many cores?
It's a 6-core 12-thread CPU.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, it's not. The old Ryzen APUs were all 4 cores. So 4 cores, 4 threads, or 4 cores, 8 threads. So that's not as like appealing as such. Actually, let's get these hard drives in.
Oh, what's happened to it? Refresh. Should I refresh?
Oh yeah, try refresh that. Oh, we've only got a single hard drive tray here. Alright, which one of these is the best? Where are we? Let's have a look at this. Date of manufacturer. Come on, show me the DOM. Okay, so one's 2012. That's pretty old.
I think they're all around the same age. That would make sense. What Mitch was saying.
Ah. Yeah, alright, so still want to give this one a go, because it's a yeah, but they're laptop ones.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem. Nah, we'll go with this one here. It's a It's a 7200 RPM SATA SATA 6 gigabyte. So this is going to be the faster of the two hard drives.
These are 32 gigabytes, except for one slightly cheaper.
What's that?
I guess this makes this slightly cheaper.
Slightly cheaper, yeah. Well, I wasn't charging much for like recycled hard drives. You probably got the two hard drives for $20 or something like that as part of this. It's not. I don't charge much for old drives. I mean, I don't even. I was. Oh, because that'll go on. Yeah, no, I want it the other way. Remove the strip. Go. So we've got a couple of drives installed there, so we will need a couple of I have these loose ones here. We'll go flat on the back. There we go. Got some zip. Much here tonight because I'm not going to be using this power supply permanently. That's alright. I want to try and do this standing up, but I'd have to get at least one bolt in because it doesn't have one of those guidance bolts. Some cases have one of these offsets sticks right through the motherboard, and then you can just put it on that first middle bolt that I did first. What's that?
You're like, why did you move it?
Yeah, you've made it harder for me. I always tell you about male's center of gravity is freaking higher, so it's harder for me to bend down. My back gets sorer. You don't consider that.
I'm sorry.
This is tall guy with short wife shit. She'll be lying down and I've got to like bend over like more than 9. It's nothing. And it's like, babe, do you realise how far down that is for me? Alright, so we've got our motherboard installed. So we'll go ahead and we will install our SSD. Which oh, for real.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing really. Okay. No. It's just, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, so now I've got all this crap around here to deal with. Yeah.
Rob says, Tim, I got my PC back. It's running beautifully. You were my backup plan if I had never got it back working. Tim, Dominic says you're getting old.
Me? Yeah. And say a lot of good things about this case. All these freaking tied up.
Oh, that's really tied up. What the hell? That's really crinkled, that cable.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
This is like someone's idea of cable management.
That's not cable management when you fuck up the cables.
They're not fucked. You can
No,
bend them.
when you like crink it too much, that's gonna break the cable.
Yeah, it can. But I seriously can't do that.
Do you want me to do this?
No.
Got big fat man fingers.
Yeah, whatever.
Tim. Rob says that honestly I was starting to think I'll never get it back and need to rebuild it. I don't remember Tim's customers too much, but I remember you like waiting for a computer. How long has it been? Do you remember, Tim? No?
No.
It's been a while. If I remember, it's been a while. It's been a while. At least you got it now.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be this bad. It doesn't have to be this way.
I'm gonna fix it.
Yep. For reals. Alright, so now I've got one zip tie left loose, and now I've got all the cables over here. So now we can go and grab our fan cables. Make sure that they're not tangled around. Put them on 1, 2, and 3. I've got our RGB lights. One, 2, and 3. So now it doesn't look like explicits. Looking a lot nicer than that big cobweb mess. And so now we want to install our RGB. So we're going to rip this cable. So it's a completely separate cable to the rest of it because I want these to be going in completely different directions. This one lives down here on the controller, and these go onto our front panel. So two totally different things. Using any graphics card power. We do need some SATA. CPU power. What's up? Get them away. I'm not too concerned about these power before this PC gets sold. Graphics card power cable there. We'll eventually hook that up. Plugging our CPU power now. Plug in our motherboard power. Okay. So we've got a fan over here. Go. Which will always slide down under here. USB 3. And that final SATA port. And then we're just left with our front panel connectors. Okay, so we've got this last SATA port to connect, but we won't connect that till the end. Do I have some spares? Yeah, that's definitely on there. There we go. So now we're at that point of the night where we can actually see if it works. Stuff on it and testing it. Our other computer's still on, so we'll just shut that down. Wi-Fi antennas, so we can put them on the back. Plug our graphics card into, our graphics cable into the motherboard. I'll just adjust my screen a bit there, and then you'll be able to see whether it works or not. Just give it a minute. Alrighty, we have a post. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Yep, 3200 megahertz. Excellent. Advanced mode. There we go. I've got our overclock settings for graphics. Oh, Nick's joined us. Hey Nick, how you going? This is the 4650G CPU. An excellent option for those looking for a gaming solution in 2021, given the situation with graphics cards. So I thought I'd definitely put a PC together and I'd definitely showcase it because I think it's an excellent option for people. Oh, I'll be back. I've just got to drop off this graphics card. I will be back. seriously thinks that, eh? He thinks we're going forever. Alrighty. So let's continue on. Yeah, so that's the joys of running a business and doing live streams and stuff like that. Sometimes I just have to go out, and I've got a customer coming over and I need to deal with them. So sometimes you'll get some footage of just my empty chair sitting here. Just set this up normally. And turn off all this. No. Okay, so let's get connected to the internet. Yeah, it's fine. Let's tidy this up a bit. Okay. Got a little bit less stuff to install this time compared to normal. Okay, let's get some stuff going on. So we don't need, oh, we'll install MSI Afterburner because I want Reaver Tuner. Okay, that won't install just yet. No crucial drives. Get our Unigene software. Get the latest BIOS. And we'll get App Center. is our display driver. Hang on a sec. Can everyone can someone just confirm that you're seeing the screen again now? Only 179 times in its life. It's had the power on for over 20,000 hours. Okay. So let's have a look. So here is our CPU. 6 cores, 12. Alright, there's nothing I've missed here, is there? I don't think there is. Oh, hang on, Origin. No, Origin doesn't want to install yet. So we'll definitely get right. Just finishing it. wait for those Windows updates. It always takes ages, this one here. Could probably do with remaking my media. Okay. All right. We've got everything all updated now, so really give it a go. The connection's loose on this back fan.
Ooh.
Can you see that?
Oh, I see it now. Oh no.
I just need to.
What's that do? Just walk in the room, just move it.
It'll be like let's move this cable just slightly to the left.
You're gonna have to fix that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to take it all apart anyway. I'm just doing this because I've got time. Okay. What's that? I can't read them from here, babe. You can point at it all you want. I can't make it out.
Leon said it's alive, so I'll be in the area, in the Wynnum area tomorrow.
Okay, cool. And we've got what, those cumulative updates. Let's get them going on.
So I'm about to go to bed.
Huh?
I'm about to go to bed.
Really? It's
I start work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Good night. I've had like 5-6 hours sleeps the last few nights. I need more than that.
Okay. Windows is all up to date. What do you got, Gigabyte? Already got app updates. I highly doubt that. Oh, smart backup. That's been erroring for ages. Yeah. That's all good. It's doing that thing again. That's okay. We'll play with that another day.
Let's go, Tim. He says, hey Christine, hey Nick. He also says front bands flicker as well.
Ah, notice. Yeah, okay. So that must be.
Yeah, they do.
They do, don't they? So I don't think it's the fans, it's the controller maybe.
Possibly.
Something's loose somewhere. Alrighty, there's our quick Cinebench score. Alrighty, let's give this a go. Oh, hang on. I might want to get some stats going on. This is on high, so I wouldn't be recommending you gaming on high settings. This is more medium settings ideally. Still not getting too hot or anything doing this. Because it's like maxed out that 500 megabytes of VRAM usage. So I think we're being bottlenecked by our VRAM here. Our RAM, or the amount of RAM that's allocated for VRAM. Okay. So I think we're definitely going to have to adjust that video memory utilization, because that was just bottleneck city there, I think. And so obviously, if you have a CPU with onboard graphics like this, there is a setting to adjust how much of the RAM is dedicated. Alright, so where will we find it? Where is the option for it? This is pretty embarrassing for me. I can't even find. No. I cannot find this for the life of me. So where is... Okay, so we're going to run that BIOS update. I'm going to have a short break. I'm going to look up why I'm not finding that GFX option in the BIOS. salt and ice cream. Adds considerably to the flavor. Okay, it looks like we're all done. Yep. Okay, so just download that update. So I've still got a, it's not letting me adjust the VRAM in Windows, so what have I missed? What have I missed? So Josh asked what's a good upgrade, the extra 2 cores, but yeah, essentially that's what you'd be looking at. The RYZEN 5600X is a massive step up from the 3600, so yeah, I'll reboot now. But I mainly want to find out how to adjust that VRAM. I don't know why I'm not seeing it in the graphics options in BIOS there. I don't ever remember having an issue finding it before. Although I can't say onboard graphics is something that I play around with a lot. Yeah, that's just the like frequencies and stuff for it. Let's go through all this. No, 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 no. Integrated graphics. It's just, there's nothing about it there. I cannot see this shit anywhere. I swear I've gone through everything. Am I just blind? Seriously? Well, I feel like an absolute idiot because I can't find that option. That's a bit of a shame. I don't know if anyone watching it knows where that particular option is, but that's what I'm looking for right now. Alright, let's get rid of Well, considering we're having some dramas getting that VRAM adjusted for the onboard graphics, I'm just going to start downloading some of these games and I'll do some research into what I am missing in the BIOS there, because I mean, if you were following what I was doing, I went into all the sections that were related to GFX or graphics or anything like that, and I looked through every setting. So unless there's something in there that needs to be turned on to make the option appear, and I'm just missing that, not sure. So like I said, I'm just gonna start getting these games downloading, and once I do that, we'll finish up here for the night, and then I'll do another video tomorrow on this, and we're going to test it in a heap of games, and we're going to see how well it actually performs. You know, running some more intensive games, like obviously we'll check out Warzone, we'll check out Fortnite, but we'll also check out Red Dead Redemption 2. Alrighty. Okay, finally. Okay. Okay. So we've got some games downloading now. And so I think that'll be it for tonight, and I'll be back tomorrow with this PC once all these games have installed, and we'll go and see how she runs. Obviously we won't be testing it on like high and ultra settings, because obviously that's like for a graphics card, because we've got onboard graphics that we're running with here. So we'll probably run most of these in medium settings, I think. But between now and then, while I'm offline, I'm going to research why I can't find the graphics dedicated RAM option in BIOS, because I should actually be able to go and select 4 gigabytes of the 16 gigabytes RAM and dedicate that to use as VRAM, just like you'd have on a graphics card. So what I found when we ran Heaven before is that we were 100% maxed out on VRAM, because we only had 500 megabytes dedicated to it. So that's what I was trying to find in BIOS before, but for some reason I just could not find it. I went through it a couple of times. I think I went through literally everything and did not see it there. So like I said, I'll do a bit of research between now and tomorrow, and we'll work out what's going on there. So I'll, if anyone's interested, I can post a link to the benchmark video I did at the start of the video today, where I showed the results that someone else had when testing this CPU on a few different games. But then yeah, I'll test it in these other games here as well. So I've gone with Apex Legends, Fortnite. Where the cost of budget graphics cards right now, this is probably a good way to go, because there's nothing going to stop you from adding a 3080 in here or anything like that. It's not going to be an issue. You can add that graphics card in at some point, and you just won't be using the onboard graphics anymore in the CPU. And as you can see, it's quite a capable CPU on its own. So really, it's a pretty good way to go. I mean, considering how far onboard graphics has come,